Yo. Yo, I'm live. It's been a few days. Pretty sweet, eh? It's a pretty cool shirt. It's a Under Armour shirt. Um, it is a late stream. I've been a bit busy. I've been a little introspective. I've been, um, you know, content content really takes a lot out of you, and it's very difficult to be consistent with energy and with content. Um, yeah, and yeah, I've not been live too much since I've gotten home. There's a lot going on in my head, and I'm just being honest with you guys that you know you move. This is the thing. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys. I don't know if it's motivation or the reality of what hard work is. Right? Is you work. This is my experience at least. Right? Is you work your ass off you know when we've got a goal. Right? You've got a goal, and that goal was to make Maven huge, right? To make that was my goal. And another goal was, hey, get really good at trading, right? And find that, freedom, and find that, that you're basically guaranteed to have your life set up for you, sort of thing, right? And you don't have to worry about money, you don't have to worry about these things. And that's a great goal. That's a great goal. And I've just been in my head questioning things of like, money is not everything, right? And I still really enjoy trading, and I'm never going to quit this, right? I don't think I'm going to quit the streaming either. But you go in waves, right? And life is cyclical, right? Similar to how you have motivation to hit the gym, right? You hit the gym, you go really hard, you get fucking jacked up, right? Like that's what I did. I got jacked up too, and then you slowly stop giving it your all, right? And that's kind of the truth with work too. Is once you get to a point where at least this was my experience. Like unless you're addicted to work, unless you're trying to win, and that's what we've been trying to do for the past 3 years, is fucking win as hard as possible. And it really from relationships and peace, and maybe your other life, right? So past couple weeks I've just been like, questioning what more I'm trying to get, right? And it's not like an excuse to stop working. We're still grinding, we're still working as hard as we can. Maybe not as hard as we can, but I'm just letting off the brakes, right? I'm letting off the brakes lately. And I got asked a question today. I got asked a question. It's like, how much percent effort are you putting in this week, right? And I was like, about 50%. I'm only on the gas about 50%, right? So that's the nature of things. And as long as you don't stop and you just keep going, because you guys are going to get this experience too with trading, is you're going to let off the gas every once in a while. And I took a year and a half off trading, 2 years maybe. I don't even know how long. I took a long time off trading because it is so mentally taxing. And that was like 2022 or something. And that was when we started building Maven and started trying to do other things too. And you come in cycles, and that's something you have to be aware of. Is as long as you keep coming back, You know, wow, we got a lot of people jumping in here quickly. As long as you keep coming back, you're never gonna quit, right? And know that, you know, you do need to take time for yourself, right? We can look at the charts now. Market's about to close in like 20 minutes, so I figured I might as well do a 30-minute stream here. I don't know how much I'm going to be streaming. Looking Jack, thank you, man. I've been working out harder, so that's another thing. I wanted to get back into the gym and work out harder. I've been wanting to find. I'll be honest, like I don't have any peace, right? I'm constantly trying to catch up. You know, I'm constantly feeling like I need to keep up and catch up. Constantly feeling like both. I both have a God complex and an inferiority complex where I both feel at all times that I'm better than everyone, but also not good enough, right? So that's, you know, and I'm sure a lot of guys are like that too. Extremely egotistical and narcissistic, but grind their ass off, right? So you don't have that peace. And I think that's really important for one, relationships, and two, for trading, right? And I say this all the time to you guys is, hey, what makes you a better trader is not actually trading. It's looking within, finding that peace, being aware of what's going on, right? And being present with what your actions are. So let's look at the, oh, my buttons aren't working. That's okay. I'll switch this way. Let's look at the chart. I'm doing that account flip right now. The $1 million thing. These are the trades. Like we took some trades overnight. 1200 profit now. By the way, if you guys are still collecting accounts, I'll approve them in a second. We're gonna keep the stream going. We're gonna keep streaming. I might do more longer term streams. I don't know. We might do like swing plays with you guys. I don't know. But I'm being upfront with you guys. Just being upfront with you guys because that's super important. Right now, what we're seeing on the NASDAQ is these failures, right? And I did take a short after seeing, hey, the failure here. But the reality is, if you guys want, you know, not every failure is a strong failure, right? We failed to gain here last night, so I did short it. As you can see, I did short that, right? But only for a short bit, like I scalp shorted it, right? Down to this level. And then I longed it here and I DCA'd in that zone, right? And it allowed us to stay in the game. And then we got out at the highs again. Because why? Because we failed again, right? So that's a longer term swing, right? So honestly, you can do the exact same things. You can do the exact same things. It doesn't have to be day trading, right? The reality is you're probably going to be picking up your orders in London and New York, right? Because that's what happened, right? I picked up my first trade in London, the second trade in New York, right? And then closed it out in New York Open. But if you're looking at these higher time frames, you don't need to worry about that crazy volatility coming in. You can more or less trade without a stop loss even easier because you can watch it throughout the week. And I honestly advise you guys, if you want to be the best trader, don't be day trading. That's why Maven promotes, hey, no swaps, right? You know, things like this, because you can do those longer term swings and you will actually be a better trader. Now, what do I think is going to happen on the end of the day here? I'll look at gold in a second. It looks like, you know, if you're looking at this the last 5 minutes, like, you know, we've re-entered the zone. We're probably coming back down here. It should be, honestly, this is just my instinctive reaction right here. It looks like it's just going to range in this zone, right? So it looks like we're going to hit that level there, hopefully. I'm not going to take a trade here. But yeah, we're $1,300 now, 13x that account. Let's look at gold and Bitcoin. I'll look at gold for you guys. And literally, the great thing about swing trading is you can, look at this. Look at this. Like, that's all you have to do. I drew one line. And I told you guys last week, gold is going right here, right? Look at that. I drew one fucking line. That's how simple trading can be. And all you're using is these higher time frame levels and failures to make highs and lows, right? So the reality is, hey, how do we know it was going up, first of all, right? Well, we closed back within here, and then last week we had this rally, right? And we didn't actually lose anything. We rallied back up, okay? So you can see, hey, this move is probably, we had that failure to lose last Wednesday. So that means we're going to go for a new high, right? What's the next level past that new high? It's that weekly level that we drew. So we hit that and then we rejected. You could have just shorted there. So now what's going to happen is probably we're going to look at the weekly close on Friday and it's going to be below here. I might be wrong though. We'll have to wait for Friday, right? And that's how you're going to determine your trades for next week. Yeah, we started the challenge. I'm at $1,300, $1,200 profit so far. 13x the account, and I took 3 trades so far. You can see here, 137. I said 160. I was mistaken. 137. I forgot what it was. 310 and then 780. And I'm doubling down every time. So next trade is going to be 2 lots. Okay. And you can literally see these are the trades, right? Short, closed, bought, right? These were 0.5 each, and then exited there. Okay. And then this was the trade before I just scalped up. This is a smaller time frame one, intraday on the New York. Yeah. But it's good to see you guys. I see there's 100 people all across the board. I think it's a lot of people watching on X right now too. I'm actually surprised you guys are jumping in at this time. It's a crazy time to be watching. Potentially, I might stream at different times. But yeah, honestly, a lot of the time throughout the day, I'm just kind of like hanging out and like doing slow work. I'm still working. I'm still trading, just slower than before. Just because I'm just kind of enjoying my own. Maybe I'm trying to enjoy my own peace. You know what I mean? Like I'm always trying to work to keep myself busy. And I think that's probably not good. As silly as it sounds, this whole industry is like, hey, this whole industry is like grind, work. The harder you work, the more money you make. And the reality is, I'm not motivated by bags of cash anymore. I have enough that I feel stable, that I don't have to worry. But if I had to worry again, then I'd probably be grinding again, right? So I understand a lot of you still want to grind and learn, so I'll still help y'all. Let's look at Bitcoin, because once you guys are there too, I think it's a complete shift of the mind as you start to get into profit. So Bitcoin, monthly, great. That weekly, it could be a pullback. We could be coming back down here. I'm not looking at holding huge Bitcoin bags right now. I'd be looking for a nice catch of something. We've got the kind of this zone here. There's a gap there, right? You've also got these weekly levels down here. So maybe I should just delete everything. I'm going to delete everything, all the drawings. And then we've got this one. So we've got a really big zone here. I'm going to draw that. That's our huge buy, and then smaller sort of buys here if it does come down, right? So we can get below that range, right? This would be a good opportunity to buy. This range is dumb to buy right now, right? You wait for a better opportunity. That's how it goes. You wait for the lowest risk. When you're trading, you love DMC. Thanks, the king. Maybe it's getting some large spreads. At this time, you would be dumb to be trading. I'll be honest with you. You shouldn't be trading right now because it is near rollover. What's up, George? I think you messaged me, right? You messaged me from Cyprus. Hey, how is Cyprus doing, man? I heard there's a crazy fire going on right now. I wonder if I can. I don't want to pull up my. I don't think I can. There's a freaking crazy fire. I wonder if I can. I'm not gonna pull up the photo. There's a wildfire that someone sent me from Cyprus. East or West DMC is the best. Nice. Nice. The fact that you're still grinding shows it true trader. And that's the thing, guys, is it's like I say a lot of things on Twitter. I say a lot of bullshit on Twitter, and I say a lot of bullshit on stream. The reality is, if you're not doing this because you love it, right, you will eventually get a lot of money, and then you'll stop trying, right? And you're going to lose the money, and then you're going to try again. So a lot of guys might come into the trading world, get money, and then boom, now I got the ego, and now I stop trying. Right? And now I'm just fucking gambling, right? So until you work on that internal side as well, you're not going to be able to stay stable. And a lot of guys, they'll make money and then lose it, make money, then lose it, right? Because you don't have the passion for trading. And you have to be aware with everything, man. You have to. So honestly, I advise everyone to, work on peace, so here's a solid level there, right? That was kind of in confluence with the NASDAQ, the weekly level there, right? This is where we bought, right? The first buy. And you can see literally right there, perfect buy right there, right? And then another one. Yeah, so it is closing up. It is rallying a little bit here. It is rallying up a little bit here. What do you guys want? Is there anything you want to look at? Any altcoins or something? Because this is I just tuning in, just for a quick stream, just wanted to say hi. We can look at the ES as well. Beautiful candles on the ES. Market's pretty strong. Market is so strong right now. Like this is the ES is even stronger than NASDAQ right now, honestly. That's beautiful. ES way more bullish, honestly. Like these are your levels, right? And it's gaining them, right? So even drop that even lower. It's like drop it even lower. Like ES might not even come down to these lows. ES might even be a perfect buy right there. Look at the low time frame. Like here's probably honestly a good buy. I'd be buying ES right now probably. But you again, don't do that, because you're going to get stopped out from a rollover. What do you think of Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin looks safe for continuation at this point. It looks safe for continuation, but you would be dumb to be buying more right now, okay? You want to be looking for this next pump and then again selling more, okay? And that's what we do with Bitcoin, is now that we're in this range. So what I've done in previous cycles is I look for an area in which I think the top might be, okay? So for the last cycle, I believe the area was like, what was it? I think my area was like 100K, something like that. And we didn't quite get there. And that's the issue, right? Is I messed up pretty bad last cycle and ended up blowing like shitloads of money because I was waiting to exit everything at like 100K and we didn't get there, right? Was it? Oh, it's here, right? It's way over here. So what you do is when you break those new highs, every time it pumps, you sell more off, right? And then when it comes back down, you can buy more again, right? So you don't want to be doing it all in one chunk. You want to be selling off, right? And then adding to it as it goes down, right? And that's the easiest way to do it. So my area was actually, for this cycle, was about 150, 140, right? That's my top. So as this pumps, right? And I knew there was going to be resistance at 100 too. So I was selling off here. I rebought some, right? And then as we're pumping up, like I'm perfectly fine because I'm willing to, like, I'm holding a lot of cash now. I'm probably holding more cash than Bitcoin in my personal, right? I do have company investments too, but if it pumps up again, I'm going to sell more. And then I'm going to aim to be completely out right around 140, right? Because I don't see any point in holding it higher than that. because there's not much return left waiting, because I can just wait for it to come back down, right? So if you think about it this way, let's say Bitcoin goes to let's give it a crazy number, and like let's say Bitcoin just fucking rockets up to over 200K, okay? Well, in bear markets, Bitcoin is notorious for dropping at a minimum. I'm going to say a minimum drop in a bear market of 50 to 60%, okay? But I'm going to say 50% just for ease, right? So if we get over 200K, right? And that drops down 50%, and I sold on an average of 130, I still made a shitload of money, okay? Because I can rebuy at the same spot, basically. Like, this move wasn't anything significant. I don't want to be perfect, right? I want to manage my risk, and that is the extreme case for me, right? I don't think it's possible to get there without a pullback, okay? And the great thing is, when you're using dumb money concepts, you know when the pullback is done, right? Because I can show you what happened here. I knew the pullback was done based off of the reaction off these candles, right? Based off of here, retested and failed to re-enter, right? So it started rallying. So we were able to get back in at 80K on the lows, right? I thought potentially it could go down to 50K. Who knows, right? That could have been the top and then drop, but I was able to buy all up again here, right? So most likely, let's say it goes to 150 and then it pulls back a bit and then does that fucking wicking shit, right? I can just get back in, and that's still good. And then it'll go to 200K, right? Do I think Bitcoin hit 200K? I don't think it will without a pullback, right? So that's the point. You're always going to get more opportunity for a pullback because other people are selling, right? The big guys sell, right? Other people take their profits too, right? It's not just you against, you know what I mean? So there's always going to be a better opportunity, a safer opportunity. So as things get less, so think about it this way. The higher the price goes, the less safe you are. And the lower price goes, the more safe you are, if you think about it that way, right? Because there's less drawdown possible. And then you combine that, so you scale in, scale out, right? You combine that with the DMC long-term concepts here, right? The higher time frame concepts, right? And then you're able to manage your risk really, really well. And you will beat the market that way. I've personally gone back and I've looked at the past 10 years of Bitcoin. And a lot of people say, hey, just buy and hold. That's great. If you traded using DMC, you would make 3 to 5 times as much money in the past 10 years as just buying and holding, which is an insane amount of difference. 3 to 5 times as much, right? So that's the equivalent of the Bitcoin makes like 40% a year or something on average in the past like 10 years, right? Or 5 years or something. I can't remember. But recently, without counting those crazy booms at the start, recently it makes like 40% a year. So if you made 3 to 5 times as much, you'd be making over 100% a year on average, which is fucking phenomenal, right? If you're just using these long-term concepts, right? So don't try to time, you know what I mean? Don't try to time shit because it's not going to work. XRP. Let's look at XRP. XRP is going to do well. Yeah. XRP futures. No fucking way. Hey, that's brand new. Let's look at the actual charts of XRP though. Binance, how about? So what you really want to watch here is this monthly, right? Make sure it gains it. And then it does. Well, that looks beautiful actually. I do hold a little bit XRP. I wonder if Interactive Brokers has XRP yet. XRP futures, no fucking way. Can I buy one? What? Initial margin requirements of 200 grand to take one contract of XRP? What? No way. Can I do decimals? You can't even. What the fuck? That's crazy. Wait, XRP. I can't. What the fuck? I can't. Margin requirement is 200 grand in my account to take one singular contract of XRP. I guess they have XRP futures, but I do not have 200 grand in my account. That's hilarious. Tesla got fucked. Actually, Tesla's got. I think I'm gonna buy a couple more of them. Tesla gapped down. Right? I lost some money on Tesla today because it gapped down. But look at Tesla chart here. Tesla looks fine, honestly. I might buy an extra contract there. Well, I'll buy tomorrow maybe. Great time to buy Tesla. Yeah, I think I'll buy more down here. If we hit that low there, I'll buy some more and then more down here. I'll let it just run as is for now, just in case it does come down a bit. But yeah, a lot of this market. I've been waiting for this guy for a long time. I want to buy this guy, FMC. This is like a smoking company or something. But if you look at the high time frame, like you're waiting for these monthly candle. Like once we get a good monthly candle, I'm going to be getting into this guy, FMC, because that has such a. This is such an amazing chart. Look at what it does, right? Like, but that's down so much, right? 80% on that in the past like year or two, whatever it is, right? This is a really good dividend stock too, right? So once you can get in on this at a good price and it's trending up, you're gonna get I think it's like 8% or something, fucking crazy per year. It's insane. It's a smoking company, I believe, or a farming company. I can't remember. But like if you got here and then you rally, like that's what it does, right? It crashes fucking hard and then just rallies new highs, right? So we'll wait until it's good to go again. Look for something like this where it gains it, right? And then we're good to go. Would you say you perform better on investing, like buying the dips or day trading on Top Step? I've made extreme. You know why? Because day trading is incredibly difficult. So it wouldn't be wise to put a decent amount of capital into day trading, right? Day trading, this is what you should do. You should day trade to keep your skills sharp, right? Put like 10% of your capital, 90% invest it, right? Do long-term positional trades, right? 10% goes into day trading so you can keep your skills alive. You can keep the excitement of trading, right? And then whenever you get withdrawals or payouts or whatever, then you put them in your investing account, right? So I only keep like day trading. I'll my personal account. I'll only keep like 10 grand, right? You know what I mean? Enough that I can buy a few contracts. You know what I mean? And give myself some wiggle room, right? And then I'll trade on prop firms, right? I'll trade on prop firms. I'll trade on, a small personal trading account, and then I'll keep you know, the six figures, the seven figures, the whatever, like the big chunks of money, right, for investing, right? Because that's where you don't have to worry. If you're trading with a significant amount of money for whatever you think is significant, you're gonna fuck it up. Okay, it's very difficult to fuck up an investment. Okay, stocks go up, right? Very difficult to fuck that up. Yeah, cool. See where that finished for the day. See, it's finishing up now, I think. Yeah, came down. See. So we'll see where the day's ending. Day's ending. Day's still good. That's still a solid close, right? Tomorrow's probably going to be up again. Would you say a beginner start investing or try risking by starting day trading? So this is what I advise everyone to do, and it's always going to be this way, okay? Unless for some reason I become insane in the future and I advise something that's less safe, okay? Honestly, as the longer I do this, the more I advise for safety, right? What you do is you budget a certain amount of money to buy prop firm challenges each month. $100, let's say, okay? You can buy 1 or 2 challenges, whatever it is, okay? Per month, right? Spend the whole month trading those 1 or 2 challenges, okay? Do that, like, don't try to rush them, right? Because you're probably going to fuck them up, right? You're probably not going to get many payouts, and you're probably going to be net negative, okay? But every time you get a payout, so you're budgeting that based off of your salary. You have to have a salary, okay? You can't be trading new and do this full. It doesn't make no sense. That's idiotic, okay? So you will eventually get a payout, okay? That payout, you do not use it for more. I would love you to go ahead and spend it on Maven and you know, give Maven you know, your business. I love that. But for your best sake, put it in a personal trading account. Or an investing account, right? And just buy and hold whatever you think is going to do well over the long term. You're free to do positional trading, like I was advising on Bitcoin, right? Where you hold it for like a year or whatever, and then get out when it's, you know, higher risk sort of thing. And then every time you get those payouts, you build capital on that account. Once you have 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it is that you think is an insane amount of money, and you have proven that you can trade well for a year on a prop firm account, right? And you are profitable on a prop firm account for a year. Okay. Then you can start trading that capital, okay? Day trading that capital. I have been doing this for 13 years. I have been profitable for the past few years, right? Let's just say a few years, okay? Like significantly profitable. And I still don't do that. I still think it is better to trade on prop firms and use the majority of your money to invest, because that way you don't have to leave large amounts of capital in a brokerage doing nothing. Okay? That way you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the investment and you're getting the trading income. It's better to do prop firms still, even if you have your own capital. Some people don't like that. If you don't like the rules, perfectly fine. Anyways, guys, I'm glad to see you. Hopefully that helps. I will tune in when I can, okay? Probably we'll see if I can get in tomorrow or not. At some point, we'll see. Maybe we'll do a weekend stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll do weekend scalping on Bitcoin. I don't know. It's usually pretty dang slow on the weekend, but I do wanna blow this up some more. So I do need to get some more trades in. I need another 700x on this. All right, Maven Shorts. Good night, bro. I know it's crazy late for you, but yeah. I'll tell you this. I'll never be streaming after this time. So after market close, this would be the absolute latest. I'll never be streaming in the afternoons my time. Okay, see you guys. Thanks for watching.